Hi and welcome, it's Jim from maverickstar. Well, based on a few of the comments on the video I done the last time, I just thought, well, okay, let's just put it down there. Let's just completely destroy a good idea by just telling everybody about it. And I know what people are going to say, oh, they've already gone and done this, Gene. No, they haven't. Because if they had, do you think King Jong-un would be still alive in North Korea? President Xi? President Putin? Or any other particular person they'd want removed, like Donald Trump? If this idea was already done, trust me, there'd be mysterious deaths taking place all over the world. So obviously we was talking about something that would be built out into in a controllable orbit out in space. What is it then, what we're talking about? Okay, it's a particle accelerator that produces proton beams, and what you're looking at is a horrible experiment that went terribly wrong. All the fail-safes literally did not kick in when they should have, and as a result the guy that was working on the particle accelerator had a photon beam pass through his left nostril and out the back just beyond his ear there, you can see. And you can also see the x-ray where it cauterized itself as it went through his brain. And that was just a short exposure to a proton beam. And proton beams can't be seen, they can't be smelled. You don't know if somebody is, firing a proton beam at you right at this very minute. You wouldn't know. But what would happen the next few days is, as in this case, the skin just literally fell away from his face. Yeah. It had sterilised the cells within seconds. It's a horrible, gross misuse of scientific knowledge to build such a weapon and then park it out into space. But nobody could hide from such a weapon of this sort. You might think that's absolutely insane, putting a particle accelerator out into space for such a negative use. But trust me, maybe now we've just announced the idea, someone at Lockheed Martin, or even the Skunk Works, or BAE Systems might look into this. Because if there is a need forever to remove a specific world leader because he can't be trusted, and you want to do it covertly, then this is the perfect way to do it. You won't see the proton beam, you won't know it's been fired, and you don't even have to let people know that you've even got it. But that's why I called it the hand of God, because you would have, that person's life in your hands. At your designation, you could just end it. So there is an absolute amazing idea for a space-based weapon that is so negative that we shouldn't really even be talking about it, but there you go. You did ask about it, and you did ask me to tell you about it, so I've just told you about it. It is now, just a matter of time before this video gets watched by a specific organisation, and then they decide to put it into action because how effective it would be. Sometimes, guys, you're going to ask me questions and you're not going to like the answers. This happened in the 1970s, late 1970s, to a professor working on a particle accelerator. And as he was leaning over to it, didn't know at the time that, it was happening to him, apart from the fact that he experienced what he claimed was such an enormous bright white light, obviously, as it was passing through his brain and cauterizing it at the speed of light. That's what he felt, and he's lucky to be alive today, because if it hadn't have travelled just in one straight line, if it had have crossed through his brain, it would have cut his brain in half, literally. And protons will go through several meters of concrete. The level of radiation is almost unstoppable, especially when you accelerate it up to the speeds that a particle accelerator will deliver. So, there you go. You asked for it, I delivered, and I've told you. And now, this is probably the worst day for science, because now everybody will know about this. It will start off just being talked about by a few people on YouTube, you guys that have watched it, and you will definitely mention it to somebody else, and it will fall in the wrong hands, I guarantee you this. And you asked for it. Some of you guys asked for it. I've just told you about it. It is a proton beam weapon. It is actually a particle accelerator, which is generally used for understanding how the universe began, and it doesn't have to be anywhere in the size or means of CERN's Hadron Collider. This thing could be made a lot smaller, something that would fit in a small office space and still deliver the same devastation. So there we go, let's see what happens next. You asked, I just revealed, that's all I'm going to say. So, you know what, guys? I think that, just sharing this knowledge with you guys is absolutely worth a coffee. So there's a link down there in the description if you want to help support what we do here. And by the way, get yourself over to Patreon if you're not, because it's the 17th and we're doing a positioning of the magnetic North Pole for you patrons out there. So, look forward to seeing you over there. As always, bye for now.